Andy is referring to Dennis Lister, Senior Vice President of Product and Innovation at Emirates Skycargo, who's in the studio. Morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Richard.
You're here because Emirates Courier Express, which you launched only a few months ago, is expanding into Australia. First of all, remind us what is Emirates Courier Express, and then talk to us about why Oz.
So the short definition of Emirates Courier Express is a Courier Express parcel solution. We basically integrated with partners around the world to move packages everywhere on the Emirates network.
Okay, why Australia?
Australia is a very interesting market. Traditionally, probably the most underserved market in the world. It has in the region of about a $12 billion CEP market, Courier Express parcel market, and we see a compound annual growth rate of about 5% in the next decade.
And you've already got 70 flights a week going there, aren't you, into the 4 major cities?
Yeah, that's correct.
So you don't have to put any more planes on to do this.
Well, it's super impressive. And I think the reason this is super exciting for us is if you look to try and connect out of the UK, for example, we have 6 flights a day from London. So if you're connecting from London into Dubai, that's 6 flights a connection to Dubai. From Dubai, 70 flights a week. That essentially means we can connect any business, any customer from the UK within a matter of days.
And that's what you're trying to do. But it was interesting to read some of the statements, and you talk about, bold statements, reinventing the cross-border delivery experience. And I thought, it's only a few weeks since Fred Smith died, the founder of FedEx. Now, he is a man who really did reinvent the cross-border delivery experience. And most people would say it's quite good. You know, the legacy of Fred and FedEx and DHL and all of these guys, they do a cracking job, and I'm sure you work with them closely. Why does this business need reinventing?
So if you look at the traditional flows of freight around the world with Courier Express integrated companies, they traditionally use multiple gateways to move freight around the world and massive freighter fleets. This is different. We have at Emirates a massive fleet of aircraft, passenger aircraft, a mix of 777s and A380s, wide-body aircraft. We have the ability to connect to 147 destinations around the world. So if you look at the traditional models, I think what we do with the passenger fleet, it's a lot faster, more efficient, and enables us to connect pretty much anyone, any package, any company around the world.
What does it say about the way that trade is going, though? If this is, and I think of this as small package rather than big package, small personal deliveries rather than big cargo.
Yeah.
Does it suggest that people are doing more and more of their own importing themselves, small scale, rather than relying on companies to do the big
100%.
scale importing?
Yeah. So I think if you look traditionally, if you wind the clock back maybe 10, 15 years ago, traditionally it was big bulk volume moving around the world. With globalization, you see that a lot of people want product from different markets anywhere in the world. So a lot of smaller packages moving around, per your point. And I think with what we're creating now, it kind of democratizes the customers, allowing them to connect to an airline directly and connect packages anywhere on the Emirates passenger fleet.
But I'm effectively my own importer then, rather than expecting retailers to bring it in and pop it in the shop here for me.
Well, there's multiple models because a lot of the retailers may even do the shipping for you. So they may actually come to Emirates Courier Express and say, can we use your services? The other option is you as a consumer, Brandy, you may say, actually, I want to select the best service, and you have the option to select multiple courier companies.
Who is using you, though? If you were to split corporate versus individual for the Emirates Courier Express so far, what would that split look like?
Well, primarily it is a B2B and a B2C business. We've targeted both. It's currently probably about 70-30, 70% B2C and 30% B2B.
I'm looking on your website, up to 500 kilograms per shipment. So it's small, but not that small.
It's not that small. In fact, I would argue, as Emirates, we could probably fly a 777 freighter worth of courier packages. So we're not limited to the small packages as are some of the traditional integrators. We have the ability to carry big stuff too.
How are trade wars and tariffs impacting all of this for anyone involved in logistics and your clients? Difficult to know from one day to the next, never mind
it is extremely
1 month to the next.
Difficult, Richard. It's a volatile market. You've seen the trade flows move around. I think what we do see is a shift in trade flow. So even though the tariffs are having an impact to a large degree, we see that there are shifts in volume moving to different parts of the world.
What like?
For example, China into Europe, China into the Middle East. We start seeing different trade flows moving in to different parts of the world.
So where do you ship to at the moment? I'm looking at a map on your website, emiratescx.com.
Yeah.
And I don't see the Americas on there at the moment. I see London, UK, a bunch of destinations in the Middle East. South Africa's on there. Australia's on there. Those are the only ones with and you've got a map with nice little boxes on them to indicate where you travel to, but it's only less than 10 places at the moment, from what I can see.
Yeah, so we're now operational in 8 countries. So we've just started 2 months ago. The idea is to expand to the 147 destinations. We're in what we believe is the key markets now. Coming to the UK, cover the Middle East, South Africa, Australia. Next will be India, and we're looking at other key markets, US, China, etc. Those will come as well.
And the United States?
Yes, US.
US and China, obviously the world's
Those
two
are the
biggest.
largest, right.
When do you think you might be able to add those?
I'd like to say, hopefully, by the end of the year.
Oh, by the end of the year,
Yeah.
so it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
How do you, in terms of marketing this, I mentioned FedEx and DHL. You're going up against some really big established players. Certainly from a B2B perspective, people know these companies. Locally, we've got Aramex. These names are known and trusted. And the Emirates name is trusted, of course it is. But as a courier service, you're a challenger brand. How do you market that?
So the thing is, we're building this on a really well-known brand, good infrastructure and good service. So if you look at Emirates Skycargo, we deliver through the hub every week 50 million kilos of freight. We are now the largest passenger cargo airline in the world. On that service, which is about 98% performance through the hub, we're building on that framework, on that infrastructure, a courier service. So we believe we have the capability, we believe we have the performance already to prove that.
What about pricing per kilo when you benchmark against competitors?
I think we'll be extremely competitive, and I think as we gain momentum and inject into new markets and you get the synergies of moving multiple packages through a hub in Dubai, you have the consolidation effect. So we'll see an improvement in cost and optimization on pallets and speed.
Can you be cheaper?
I don't think it's about price. I think it's about service.
Do you? Would your customers agree it's not about price?
So I think if you look at the spectrum of packages, CEP, Courier Express packages, there's a wide spectrum of the cheaper products moving from China, for example, and that might be a $2 fidget spinner versus something that could be medical devices going into hospital in South Africa. There's a wide range of what people are prepared to pay. We're not necessarily interested in the big bulk volume moving at low prices.
Okay, but high-value Labubus coming in from Hong Kong.
Well, we know you have one.
Finally, in terms of where we're going to be in 5 years' time with this, 8 destinations on your map at the moment. 5 years, how many destinations? 147?
I'm not sure. I don't know. But as we say at Emirates, we're bold. And I think what we'd like to achieve in the next 5 years is be in a position where we have maybe 25% of our total capacity carrying our Courier Express packages.
Good luck with that. Thanks very much indeed for joining us this morning. It's good to have you in the Dubai Eye Studio. Congratulations on rolling out Emirates Courier Express to Australia. The thoughts of Dennis Lister there, Senior Vice President of Product and Innovation at Emirates Skycargo. You're listening to The Business Breakfast.